afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for March 26th, at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, at around 9 p.m. Eastern. Just about all of us are consumed by this world we live in. Deeply consumed. The moment we open our eyes in the morning, the mind kicks in, and we are flooded with all sorts of beliefs, emotions, and desires. It can become very easy in this day and age to feel completely lost, overwhelmed, or confused. We are constantly dealing with a massive amount of information. Some of us, not all of us, have the social pressure every day. And we have all of these things that come in. Finances, relationship, love life, family, work, health problems. They're at the foundation. And then there's our newly found, technological relationships with the smartphones and internet, texting, emails. We may spend half our day doing what we can to figure out how to get through it alive. And we're in a right now, we're in a soft technological era. It'll heat up in the course of the coming years. Now imagine that we were surrounded by people every day whose only interest was in achieving enlightenment. This world would be very, very, very different. Yet, we have chosen a planet where every day is still, everyone is still deeply asleep to their divine enlightened nature. In fact, we are all so asleep that we don't even know that we are asleep. Every human being is sleepwalking through this life. Meaning that we are always plugged into the mind. The veil is so thick and the pattern is so deep that we need to use everything we've got to wake up. This means using everything we can find outside of ourselves and inside of ourselves. Any real ecstasy is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Do not let any prude tell you otherwise. St. Teresa of Avila. Use everything around you to find God. Use every conversation as a vehicle to listen to the divine. Use all your senses everywhere you go. Touch, taste, feel, hear, even breathe in the smell of the divine use every moment of your free time to find deep silence, stillness, and inner peace so you can connect deeper with the divine. Use whatever media, all the excessive advertising is constantly dumped on us to find God. When you read something that jumps out at you, do what you can to notice how its spiritual message is just for you. When you feel like you might be making some form of connection to God, breathe that feeling deeply into your body. Stop everything. Give this experience all that you've got. Because it might not last long. Notice how the feeling resonates with what's going on in your life. Find the practical aspects, like how does this simple, like say, we don't have billboards much anymore, but notice whatever you can. In other words, you kind of feel or are drawn to something, make sure you're aware of that and why you are. And ask yourself how it gives you the deepest guidance that you're needing in any of your relationships right now. Because we all know there's no coincidences. There just isn't. That's a word we use in this civilization to explain things the way we don't understand. God is already always around every one of us. We only have synchronicity in this life. Everything is perfect and divinely aligned. The God source never ever makes mistakes. When you are 100% devoted to finding total alignment with the divine and everything around you, the magic will its way into you. One thing about the spiritual awakening process for any of us that is certain. When you want access to the most amazing spiritual experience in life, it is going to take everything you've got. The enlightened state is definitely not like anything you've experienced before. There are no more problems in your life anymore. There are only deeper and deeper and deeper connections with the divine. Enlightenment is not for the half-assed skeptical seeker, the protective pessimist, or the mind addict that is super smart intellectual. It's for ordinary beings who have devoted their entire heart and soul to something beyond this world. It's for that simple soul who wants to create the deepest, healthiest relationship with themselves and the God source. Biggest difference of all, perhaps, is that their connection with God is their highest priority all throughout the day. We're not talking about religion at all here. So, are you open to exploring your connection with the divine? Chances are that you're probably wondering, what's the right way how to do it? Or are feeling hesitant, reluctant, or thinking that maybe this week is not the right time. There will always be a super important things which we need to do. The reality is that our soul has been waiting for real spiritual liberation for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. We have been preparing for a profound spiritual experience forever. We are here to let go of everything, find our real connection to the divine again. We've been learning major life lessons after major life lessons after major life lessons, killing the hard, tough inner soil inside of us, just so that one day our soul could find some higher enlightened state of being. We were born to find some way home to ourselves. So our mind is always free from all fear, resistance, stagnation, separation. The enlightened mindset just happens when we return to the pure source of awareness that is behind the mind. When you discover the awareness behind every thought that you're thinking, you come closer to the most sacred intelligence in this universe. This is who you truly are. The funny thing is that there is only one tiny thing stopping us from seeing, feeling, knowing that God is here now. And that's our own mind, which is so full of personal beliefs and ideas about this life that there's not much room for anything else. It is overflowing so much that we have become blind to God. Watch out for the mind. It is the only thing stopping any of us right now. Do something this week. The next time you're in front of a mirror, look non-judgmentally into the mirror. Just notice. What do you see? Do you see how amazing, multidimensional, and extremely beautiful you truly are? Or do you see all of your flaws and shortcomings? Just be straight up with yourself. The mind is not set aside. We can only see and hear what it thinks is good and bad. The mind can be extremely judgmental, and this is pure entertainment for the ego. We hate being bored, so we cling to all sorts of opinions about right and wrong. As long as you are over-identified with the attached to opinions of good and bad, you cannot spiritually awaken. Remember that all of life is a grand play, and the nature of the mind is to create contrast and comparison. Mind doesn't like the gray middle path. The mind is too empty. It seeks something juicy to fill it. What do we do about that? Well, we choose to let go of filling up the mind and find the spiritual being that we are. This is in silence and stillness within. Interestingly, the heart is not judgmental at all. The heart only loves, accepts, and embraces what is. So do not trust this mind. Trust your heart instead. Be free of the mind. Just remain in the heart. You will soon, in time, find the divine. Every day, we get lost in a sea of duality. Expect the pendulum to swing back and forth, just like it would on a clock, from being lost to being found again and again and again. Our mind is not the only mind out there that is making a living hell or heaven out of each moment. Everyone is doing this. We are all blind to the divine. We simply have to choose to learn how to release all attachments, trust in God, surrender to its totality. When we take this risk to dissolve back into the source, in each moment we naturally discover how everything around us is helping and guiding us to be free. The good news is that we've got 1 billion more lifetimes to become enlightened. God is never ever going to stop loving us. Bad news is that if we postpone, we will miss out on the 1,000 opportunities heading our way today. There is no real end to this journey. You do not die when you die. That's it, period. So truly, there is nothing, absolutely nothing to be concerned about. When we realize we are on an infinite journey, we are always safe and on the right path. We've made it this far, and we are still a very conscious and deeply sensitive being. This is a very good sign. We've got millions of doors we can walk through to experience this moment as divine. Now, one of these doors isn't so easy or obvious to see. Yet, we unconsciously step through it every single day. It is the perpetual swinging door of judgment. We are so often unaware whenever we are passing judgment and oblivious of how it is a secret passageway to the most enlightened and heavenly state of being. No matter if we are conscious human beings or not. The mind is constantly judging ourselves, other people, this world, and anything that it can get a hold of. The mind was born with this master-like, judgeaholic power. It can judge anything in milliseconds. You may not have realized this, yet probably in the last 15 minutes, your mind has passed 10 judgments on yourself, someone else, or something in the world around you as either good or bad. The judgmental mind is perpetually busy working away at labeling this life. And this workaholic is a slippery gremlin to catch. We are so accustomed to the mind judging everything in this life. It's as if we were lying in the sun forever and didn't know that our skin was being burned off for years and years and years. And we don't realize it, that it's burned off. So just to clarify exactly what judgment is, okay, judgment is the mind labeling something in life as either good or bad, but not both. It is a one-sided viewpoint of existence, which separates and divides, interestingly. Judgment manifests only when we are living up in the head and are disconnected from our heart. When we are living from the head and are disconnected from the heart, but when we are living from the heart, the mind cannot judge. This occurs because the heart is free from duality. And the mind can only exist in duality, seeing black and white. The heart cannot get hooked in whatever the mind believes is only good or bad. When the heart is leading the way, we are free from the perpetual prison of the judging mind. How do you know that? How do you know that? What's the giveaway, the sign? Okay. Normally when you look at something or someone, you judge. Numerous things. Like a whole huge laundry list. Now, the mind often believes that if you get what you want, this is good, right? Then you'll be happy. And if you get what you don't want, this is bad, then you'll be unhappy. That's pretty clear how the mind moves and operates. The more enlightened path, however, is understanding that in this great, divine, supreme, all-intelligent universe, we're going to get it all. We always, always, always get what we want and what we don't want. For example, how many times have you dreamt about something or wanted something really, really, really bad? And you get it, okay? It's like it could be an automobile, it could be anything. But then you find out that when you get it, you start realizing how costly it is to maintain, or how ridiculously high the insurance is on it. That's what basically is what we want and what we don't want. Now, or perhaps we spend half our life running in the great societal rat race, being devoted to striving, achieving big, luxurious dreams, becoming financially free, only to realize later that we missed out on so many beautiful sunsets while we were indoors chasing some fantasy. So life is both, always both. We get death and we get birth. We always get both. And this polar opposite is inside everything that exists. The yin is contained within the yang. The yang within the yin. More often we practice seeing, feeling into, and accepting how we always get what we want and what we don't want in this life. The judgmental mind just drops on its own accord. We naturally start living every day in deep harmony and existence. We become vulnerable to existence again. And in this sweet humility, we can feel the great perfection of this life. We deeply accept that this existence is the expression of the highest intelligence, and that the good and bad judgment plan is the smartest plan available from God to create a spiritual awakening experience inside every being on this earth. I challenge you to see if you can find a single situation, person or thing of this world that is only 100% positive and does not also have the tiniest hidden negative byproduct within it. Now, you think you found something like a new flower budding or an amazing sunset, just wait and investigate it a bit longer, as both sides will eventually show there is always another side to the coin, as the flower will one day wither away and the amazing sunset colors always fade into darkness. We always get both. The rose always comes with a few thorns, even if they are small ones. So my invitation for you today is to free yourself from the judgment habit. You can do this. Start looking deeper into yourself and accept any judgments you may have. Like, how many people say they're too fat? They believe they're too short, too ugly, too poor, too dumb, too smart, too much in their head. Welcome all the judgments you have about yourself. Don't reject, avoid, or judge them. See them for what they are. They are one-sided judgments that you have about you. When can you truly see and welcome the judgment? It will have less energy and magnetic pull on you. In a matter of minutes, the contracting hard feeling around the judgmental thought will lessen. Drop into stillness, and you will become truly free from it. As far as this welcoming process works, the secret is moving totally into the experience of judging. When we consciously are feeling only one side of the judgment, awareness grows in us. We cannot fail. We cannot fall into that old judgment again so easily next time. You can see just how it impacts your mind, emotions, and heart. When you remain in one-sided experience of life deeply and fully for a long time, something inside you will soon tire. And then the judgment pendulum just swings to the other side. How many of us have been caught in that? Such as you may feel and say that you're never good enough. You cannot do anything right. I've heard people say that. After welcoming that judgment and feeling for 5, 10, or even 20 minutes, something in you will exhaust itself. Release the contraction, and wake up. The smaller, more enlightened aspect inside of us will sneak in and perceive that on some level we are doing everything right and we are totally good enough. When we welcome judgment pendulum soon swings, and this allows us to know what perfect peace feels like. Now, some people may think that always welcoming and acknowledging both the good and the bad in this life is just some boring, fatalistic, nihilistic, uncreative path that only leads to a state of apathy. Quite the contrary is true. By learning to accept and welcome it all, we find that we are truly okay with everything that is, and feel a more spacious quality within ourselves. We feel we have more time to develop our ability to expand consciousness, relax to our lives. Now, from this expanded space, we dramatically increase our manifesting vibration, deepen our state of inner peace, and become a magnet for the most amazing life situations to occur. We will find that the welcoming process is extremely powerful simply because it leaves nothing out. It comes from a deep spiritual place inside of you that is saying yes to the totality of your existence. You are just not interested in fighting, proving anything, or resisting this life anymore. Instead, you move and feel totally fluid like water, without resistance, force, or control in this state. It's so easy to realize that God is everywhere and in everything. Join in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Take an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Give yourself a hug today. Take this moment to stop everything and feel the warmth inside your soul. Relax and trust this experience. Embrace this lovable being you truly are. Remember, you can snuggle with yourself at any time. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We will return here Wednesday, March 27, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you. Be of the highest of the deepest, 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 purest, 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 eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you.